Morning. I'm Catherine from Gage Dye Works, and I'm just going to get Andrea on here. Andrea Rangel from Andrea Rangel. There she is. People are joining. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, everybody.
There we go.
Ooh, last time you had this electric blue, and now you've got intense red. You're all about the colors these days.
Yep.
That is a great color on you.
Thank you.
I like that.
It's not quite the color it looks on my screen, but thank you.
You're welcome.
It is so dark and gray all winter here, and I've decided that not wearing black all the time is my solution.
Okay. I think that's a good solution.
Yeah. Oh, we've got lots of people joining this morning. Good morning.
Hi, everybody. We've got across the street. I saw somebody earlier said from New Jersey. So, hey, welcome. Yeah. Good to see you all. Oh, hi, Christine. Hello, hello. Nice to meet you.
There's another person from New Jersey. Well, I think we should just dive right in.
Okay.
Because we'll have like 30 people joining us now and several thousand watching later.
Yes.
So people can come and go and we can just get into it. I feel like today is kind of a show and tell day.
Yeah. I think
and you have a brand new pattern out. Do you want to show us your brand new pattern?
I do have a brand new pattern, and I brought 2 samples to show. And this is the one that is in the photos, in shades of brown and gray, and sort of all sorts of celebration of foggy weather and leafiness. These yarns are Uradale, mostly Uradale, which is something I got when I was in Shetland. And they're like this really cool organic farm. We actually got to visit their farm. And so check out Uradale yarns. I think they are tagged in some of my posts about this pattern, which is called the Scrappy Leaves hat or beanie, Scrappy Leaves Beanie. And yeah, Uradale's a really cool Shetland wool that you could knit it in. There's also, the yellow is actually Jameson and Smith, or Jameson's. Oh, I'm so bad at selling the difference between the two of them, but they're tagged in the pattern as well. And I also made a second sample. This was actually my first sample, kind of in some cheery gradient pinks and browns, which I really love. This, okay, so that one was Jameson and Smith. Now I remember, because this one is Jameson's. And these are Jameson's jumper 2-ply, and then Jameson's Ultra on top. And I learned that as much as Ultra and 2-ply look alike, Ultra is a lot lighter weight than the 2-ply. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend necessarily this combo, but it worked out really nicely. So that pattern is available now. It came out yesterday. So if you are a newsletter subscriber, you have a discount code in your email that was sent yesterday. And if you are not a newsletter subscriber, you can subscribe through the link in my profile, and I will send it out again tomorrow morning. So that will happen for 1 week. I always give my subscribers a little discount that nobody else gets. So that's my new pattern.
Excellent. I love it. That version is, I really like that. So if we are substituting yarn, I don't know what a 2-ply weight.
It's fingering weight.
Okay.
So that's just the name of the yarn. The number of plies doesn't matter. It was 2-ply jumper. But yeah, it's just a fingering weight, and I think this project would work so well with almost any kind of wool yarn. Like, I think this would be great in your sock yarns, or, you know, like the idea, it's called Scrappy Leaves Beanie. So the point was really to make it so that you can kind of pull out your like precious little leftovers of whatever you've got. There's not, each color just takes a few yards. I think the biggest size, it's like 20 yards of yarn for each color of the contrast colors. And then the main colors, I think it's like 110 yards for each. So it's not very much yarn for any of the colors. So you can kind of get out your scraps and play with color. The pattern includes a kind of dorky little coloring sheet, so you can print it out or use an app and kind of play with different color combination options.
I like that.
So yeah, that's the project that just came out. Do you want to share your February birth color or maybe a peek of the March one?
I sure do. I have my little, so this year I've been doing every month a yarn for the birth flower of that month. I learned there are 2 birth flowers every month, and I just picked the one I felt like doing. So February is violets. So this is the February birth flower yarn.
So pretty.
And I picked a pattern. So I'm going to hold up really close. A variegated stripes kind of, and there are some yellows and greens and stuff in there because violets have yellow and green little bits. And I picked a pattern that had some nice texture because I thought that would be fun.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is February, and it'll be in the shop until the end of February. And then next week, I will put the March yarn, and March is either daffodils or cherry blossoms. So I went with cherry blossoms.
Cherry blossoms. I love cherry blossoms. They make me so joyful every year. Oh, look at that pink.
It's very pink. I was trying to figure out what color cherry blossoms actually are, and it turns out the answer is it depends. This is a little more like pinky. The cherry blossoms in my head are a little more purpley, but I did 10,000 swatches, and this was my favorite, so I just went with it.
That's cool.
I actually have a whole sock knit up.
Ooh, oh, how pretty.
So I tried, it is, if you look at the sole, it actually is, again, like the sort of variegated stripes.
Cool.
But originally I wanted to do like a fade because I liked the idea. There'd be a little blue at the top, like if you're standing under a cherry tree and there's the sky and then the cherry blossoms and then they all kind of fall. Thank you.
Thank you.
I see. So I wanted to like recreate the idea of like being under a cherry tree. And then in the end, they all looked, I just didn't love them. The blue was distracting, or the fade was just kind of patchy, kind of. Anyway, but I feel like this, it's stripes, but it's not super crisp stripes. So I feel like it still gives some of the feeling of motion or you know, the wind blowing in the tree, the leaves blowing in the wind, the petals rain snowing down.
Oh, that's such a pretty image. So
that's next month. And my original plan was to have them in the shop like right at the end of the previous month. Like so March's would be in the shop right at the end of February, but I've had a few requests of people who want their birth flower yarn like before their birthday, or they want to be able to knit something within that month. So I think for next month I will aim to have it in the shop like a couple weeks earlier.
Cool.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, there was a comment earlier.
Oh,
that
gorgeous
was
ink.
Pink. Yeah.
Either way, I'll take the compliment either way. Thank you.
That's cool. I love that you're doing this monthly colors. Both of those so far are very sweet.
Thank you.
The flowers, the flower months, you know, we're all about the nature stuff. I'll give a little peek, speaking about next month. I'll give one little sneak peek of, I have a new pattern coming out next month. Yes, this year I'm doing a lot of patterns. I'm very excited about it. So you might recognize this motif. For next month, I'm doing a sock in that motif. So if you're a sock knitter rather than a hat knitter, or you want matching socks and hat, you will be able to do that next month.
I love those. Can you show us the toe?
Yes, the toe has just like a bunch of colors all together. Yeah. So that will be out for next month. So you can look forward to that in March. And again, if you want to have a discount on that when it comes out. Newsletter subscribers get that, so you can sign up.
Excellent. And can you, while we're here, do you have your sweater? Because that was just a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I know.
Are you wearing it right now?
I'm totally wearing it right now. Let's see if I can adjust my phone without it falling down. There we go. Okay, so I actually have on right now, like on tiptoes. This is the larger size, so this is basically me wearing about 12 inches of ease with this pattern, and I feel very like 90s rom-com in this vibe with like the oversized thing. And I actually wear this one quite a lot. It's really cozy. So this is my Squish cardigan, which came out at the end of January. So if you want some epic cables, these are really, this is really cool. And this yarn is Hudson and West Forge, which is a really great option. And my other sample was in Harrisville Yarns Highland. So it's a good worsted weight wool sweater with a little shell collar vibe. So yeah, that's a very cozy stay at home or go out sort of a big cardigan. So yeah, if you're into cardigan knitting right now, and it's knit in pieces, so the cables aren't super overwhelming, so you can enjoy the magic of seaming. So that's called Squish cardigan, and you can get that on my website and Ravelry.
Love it. I have done cables on both, like a knit all in one piece and a knit in pieces, and I decided that I like the extra work of seaming, because then you crisscross one cable and you only have to rip out like this much work rather than your whole torso's worth. More than makes up for the seaming. And then I actually kind of enjoy seaming, so
seaming is kind of magical. In knitting, it's like when you get the pieces to come together and they line up all perfectly, and then like the line almost disappears. It's really kind of beautiful. And then also seams with this heavy of a sweater, something that's this big, especially with like raglan shaping and all this, you want to have some kind of structure reinforcing things. And then it's super nice to be able to have the small project to carry around. You have like a little piece that you can knit wherever you're going, rather than having like a huge giant whole sweater once you get it going for a little while. So yeah, I recommend.
Excellent. Well, I will also I have another thing for show and tell. This is not my work. This is
cute.
Rebecca, who is back working at Gage now. Rebecca is in a Nook on Ravelry for people who know her but don't realize they know her. And she does tons of sample knitting, as well as packing up orders and stuff. And she is knitting, this is our January club yarn.
That's cool.
Oh, there's a comment about a beautiful cable sweater.
Thank you. And Christine says Rebecca is great.
You were correct.
Agree.
Oh, and you missed, there were a couple comments. Christine is also thinking she might have to knit socks after seeing her socks. So this was our January club. So Rebecca's working on her shawl. Actually, my
Very
shawl.
Cool.
I get this when she's done. So we're super pleased with this. And what we did for this club, I mean, people are knitting all sorts of cool stuff, but we had like a drinking game, but just a knitting in garter stitch game where there was questions for each of these colors. And so if you have ever, and of course now I'm blanking on what any of the questions were, but like, blanking on all of the questions.
That's okay.
Random knitting things you may or may not have done. If you've ever broken a needle or knit in a movie theater or whatever, then you would answer yes by doing garter stitch. So that's been fun. And it turns out I did not pick, chopsticks. thank you, Sue. Have you ever used chopsticks to eat a snack so you don't get your yarn all like covered in Cheeto dust?
Yes.
And it turns out I did not pick adventurous enough questions because most people have been saying yes to not every single thing, but most of the things. So,
well, that's
so that's our January.
Nice. So speaking of clubs, should we say a date? Right now, I think we shared this date in a few places, but in case you haven't seen it, we are planning very intensely right now our summer club together that we do every year. And we are going to launch that on May 22nd. So we want you to know the date, May 22nd, that we will have the club available for sale. And that is very exciting for us because it's kind of like putting a pin in there for when we're going to be ready for you to join our club.
Yeah. So that is our summer club. It's going to be 3 months. You sign up in May, but then we send you yarn and a pattern in June and again in July and again in August. So we're getting those ready now.
Yeah, I've been knitting. We have yarn sample ideas and we've been meeting and planning. So we have some really cool stuff for you this year that I'm very excited about. I actually have that yarn that you already gave me, Catherine, for the next project. I cast on yesterday, so I have something to show you, but I'm not showing everybody yet. It's secret. So
we're just putting that out there.
Yes. Yeah. So we are working hard on that, and we're very excited for this year. And we can definitely tell you it's nature themed again. Big surprise.
Yeah.
But we'll have more on that as it develops.
Well, I think that is all my shows and tells, showing and telling that I have to do. Do you have anything else you want to show us or tell us about?
I think that's good for this month. I feel like we have quite a lot going on. So yeah, thanks everybody for being here. If you want to know more about what we do and us, we've done this before, so you can see on my blog I have the previous lives that we've done, and you can also see our clubs, and we both have newsletters that we send out, so you can sign up for our newsletters. And thank you for everybody for being here. We really appreciate you. We couldn't do the work that we do without you.
Yes, thank you. All right. Well, I guess we will do this again next month.
Yes, sounds good.
All right.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
Thanks for joining. Bye. See you next time.